Hi, I'm Sam with Green Fiber. Today we're going to cover stabilized cellulose using the Sanctuary product. The process is pretty simple because if you have a cellulose machine or a blowing machine, you don't need to upgrade your machinery. All you need to do is purchase an injection nozzle and a water pump or water source. The basics are an injection nozzle is in line from your machine no less than 50 feet from the end of the hose. Before me I have one of the many injection nozzles. This is a 4-inch cam lock injection nozzle with a solenoid. And what this allows us to do is put this in line, attach this cord to a machine that already is wired in to the material feed on the machine, that when we go to turn it on, it will automatically inject water into this nozzle, atomizing the product. What this is doing, whether you do it with line pressure or whether you would do it with the tank, is it's atomizing the product to give us a better yield on coverage and minimizing dust. This isn't something you have to do, but it's something that's going to benefit you greatly, especially if you're in a tight spot in an attic, in a back corner, and you can't see because of the dust for installation. With that dust knocked down, you're going to have more ability to see what you're doing, which also is going to maximize your coverage, to see the inches you're supposed to be blowing, which is extremely helpful. First thing we're going to do is adjust our airlock settings. This is a slide gate for this machine. We're going to put it on 7. Most machines have between a 12-inch and a 24-inch airlock. Depending on what size airlock you have is what your adjustment will be. The next thing we're going to do is adjust our air pressure. Most machines have 1 or 2 knobs for adjustment. This particular machine has 1 knob. We're going to adjust our air to about 75%. Now we're going to make our hose connections. This particular machine has a 4-inch outlet, so we do not need a reducer. On this end, however, because most of our hose that's inside the house is going to be a 3-inch, we're using a 4 to 3-inch reducer. Once those are done, we connect the cam lock. Now we're going to make our pump connections and our electrical connections to the IWS. First, we take a high pressure line out of the pump box, connects to the IWS. Make sure our valves are open to the jets. Connect our electrical wire to the inline IWS. Next step, we brought our hose into the house. This is a new construction home, so we don't have to really worry about mess or leaving any debris behind. If this is a retrofit job, just be careful to make sure you lay poly down and respect the homeowner. You're either going to have a scuttle access like this or an attic access with a drop-down ladder. This is an A-frame ladder. Our installer is going to go up, bring his hose to the furthest point from this access, and then work his way back. He's already either has an attic ruler installed up there, or he has a measuring stick that he carries with him to mark his inches needed for our value. He's going to have a dust mask and a headlamp for visibility. Let's go get it. How much moisture should we use? Green Fiber recommends 16 to 25% at install. Any fiber that is being sprayed through a hose needs to be sprayed with a hose that has inside ribs. This is extremely important. If you have a smooth bore hose, your coverage and your yields will be far less than if you had ribbed inside hoses. What this does is it knocks the fibers as it's moving down the hose to give you maximum coverage for your install. Always ensure that your injection nozzle is either on a level ground or on a slightly downward angle. Because of the flow of water going through the hose and atomizing the product, if it is at an upward angle, some of that back pressure and water will go down the hose and cause clogs. This is one thing you do not want to do. It's also helpful that the person that's loading the bags taps around the injection nozzle to free the product that might build up from the process. One thing to look out for is if you're in the attic and you experience a dustier product than you're used to spraying, a pro tip is make sure you stop the process, go down to the injection nozzle, make sure that your jets, when you inspect them, are free and clear of any debris. Even 50% less water through that process will change the output considerably.